Aita, for yelling at my fiance for giving my dog away. My best friend Kelly passed away 2 years ago. We were both childhood friends. She adopted her dog Leo 7 years ago and we became attached to him, and he was the bond that made our friendship stronger. When she passed away, I took him in a few months after she passed, and it felt like she was there every time he runs in or cuddles with me. I recently moved in with my fiance, he lives out of town, and brought Leo in with me. I could sense that my fiance didn't feel comfortable with having Leo live with us. He sat with me and asked if we could offer him up for adoption since I've been busy with college and he was busy working. I told him the story behind taking Leo in and he sort of dropped it. During the last couple of weeks, I was visiting my parents and asked my fiance to take care of him while I was away. He said okay. I called every night to check in on Leo and I could hear him bark in background, but a few days later, he stopped. My fiancé told me he was outside. I came back, and I noticed Leo was gone. I waited till my fiancé got back and he sat me down and explained that while he was out with Leo, a family approached him and asked him if he was putting him up for adoption and said they were willing to provide a home for him, since their son who didn't let go of Leo lost his dog who looked the same age as him. He said he felt sorry for the kid and decided to give them Leo. I was in shock. I lost it and yelled at him that it wasn't his place because Leo was mine. He lashed out saying I was hurting his feeling and overreacting. I told him he needed to get him back. He just gave me their number and told me to handle it. I've had a hard time trying to get him back and I did eventually. I packed up and moved back with my parents. My fiancé is calling and apologizing, then saying that he can no longer pay for rent on his own. I didn't reply. My family say I should forgive him and get over it, but I just couldn't. I feel heavy and unable to even talk to him anymore. Not the asshole. That was not his dog, not his decision, and he had absolutely zero right. He's not actually sorry. He's just realizing how much it sucks to lose a partner and the stability that comes with a committed relationship. That's his problem now. You enjoy your pup, and your life away from someone that inconsiderate and terrible. Not the asshole. He is obviously not a trustworthy person if he was willing to do this knowing your connection to Leo and without even talking to you until several days after the fact. Tell him to go pound sand and to lose your number. Not the asshole. What a complete betrayal of trust. Also, he seems to care more about not being able to pay the rent than what he did to you. Not the asshole. Please don't ever forgive him for that. Animals are a part of the family. If my partner did this, I would end things with him. My partner dislikes animals, but at the end of the day he knows my fur babies mean the world to me. He respects that and is always kind to them. He just won't do much with them unless I'm not home to care for them. Your fiancé had no right to give away your dog. It's obvious he didn't care about your feelings, and prioritized his own. This wasn't a dispute over ugly dishes or a rug. Fuck him. Not the asshole. This smells as fishy as an aquarium. He is walking down the street and happens upon a kid and his family wanting Leo. He either tried to find someone via a shelter or listed him somewhere. That story is the biggest crock I've ever heard. Huge red flag. Red flag the size of a fire truck. Run. Added a word. Not the asshole. He gave away your dog without so much as talking to you about it and lied about Leo being outside. Not the asshole. In your shoes, he'd be my former fiancé. If he can't afford rent on his own, tough. He should have thought of that before giving your dog away. He doesn't deserve forgiveness, especially as he has not had the decency to acknowledge how disgusting his behavior was. He should be begging for forgiveness on his hands and knees, not trying to turn this on you by whining that you're hurting his feelings. His actions prove that he is unworthy of love and trust. If you take him back, he will get rid of Leo at the first opportunity. I hope that, as you only recently moved in with him, you're not in a position where you are legally obligated to pay part of his rent. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Not the asshole x 1 million. I can't believe what your fiancé did. I'm a dog person and know the bond between a dog and its owner can be as close as one of a parent and child. Explain this to your fiancé and dump his ass. Why is it hard for you to get Leo back? Can you not go to the police explaining your dog was taken from you without your authorization? Do this ASAP, as you don't want to increase the bond between Leo and new owners. Edit. Just thought of this. Shame him on his social media and tell his close family and other family friends who are dog owners. Tell them you have separated from him for his actions and let them hound him for a while. Maybe that will make him think for a second but never take him back. Not the asshole. This is serious. He's telling you who he is right now. Please listen. You'll be okay. You made the right choice. Not the asshole. This is a super red flag FYI. He's a FKIN monster. Good thing she showed this before you married. If he can't be trusted with your things I've family member, then he can't be trusted at all. It wasn't his decision to make. Him getting angry about it is nuts. He should have apologized and got Leo back for you. Jim trying 5-0 reverse it on you shows he doesn't understand what he did wrong. Not the asshole. That degree of disrespect, disloyalty and insensitivity is deal-breaker territory. He just gave me their number and told me to handle it. He didn't make almost any effort to fix the mess he created. Does he show this amount of responsibility normally? My fiancé is calling and apologizing, then saying that he can no longer pay for rent on his own. Wow. That looks more like regret than remorse. Bad sign he still doesn't get it. Not the asshole. When someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. Maya Angelou. There's no need to forgive that one. Nor any reason to look at him in the rear-view mirror. Not the asshole. You gave him explicit instructions that Leo was not to be given away under any circumstances. Anyone who does anything to my animals without my permission is no longer in a relationship with me. This guy is now in a shitty situation because he was a douche, not because you are an asshole. Not the asshole. Do not marry this man. He does not respect your autonomy or care about your feelings, wishes or opinions. Once he is comfortably married and doesn't feel the need to try, you will find yourself in a living hell. This is one of the most clear red flags I have ever seen. The decision to do it in the first place was heinous. The response that you should fix it yourself is just the cherry on top of this shit sundae. Not the asshole. I'd be in prison for murder if somebody gave my dog away like that. Holy shit, not the asshole. Have you seen John Wick? You don't mess with someone's dog, especially if it was given to them by a dead loved one. He also lied to you for days and gave the dog to a family he didn't even know. Plus, when he realized he fucked up, he didn't even try to get the dog back, he made you do it. When you realize you made a mistake, you should fix it as best you can. Instead he leaned into it and rubbed salt in the wound. Not the asshole. He gave your dog away, which alone is unforgivable in my opinion, but also initially lied about it. Also he's upset cause he can't pay rent, not because he majorly effed up. You deserve better. Not the asshole. That was all sorts of fucked up and I don't think I could ever trust a dude who did something like that ever again. Fuck that guy right in the ear. Not the asshole. Do not get back together with this person, ever. You can't get a dog if you don't have time for it. You can't expect someone else to look after it. Not the asshole. Never talk to him again. Not the asshole. I would go absolutely nuclear on anyone who gave my dog away. That is such a horrific, hurtful thing to do to any person, never mind someone you're in a relationship with. Take this as serious evidence of how much he actually cares about you or is willing to compromise to be with you, and throw him out on his ass. I hope you get your dog back. You dropped these. Location flag, location flag, location flag, location flag. Not the asshole. Ask your family what if he gives your baby away because it annoys him. Not the asshole. That story is 100% bullshit. I find it highly unlikely your boyfriend who hated your dog just happened to be approached by an interested family while you were gone. After all, it is super common for people to see you and your dog and approach you to find out if you were considering getting rid of your dog's. Not the asshole. Leave that man for good. That's a massive red flag. He doesn't care about your feelings at all. You are the asshole for such an obvious not the asshole. Not the asshole. Info: did you discuss Leo before moving in? Also, why is your family pressuring you to forgive him? Do they want to move out as much as your ex-fiance wants you back for the rent money? Regardless, he shouldn't have given Leo away. Live happily with your dog far, far away from your fiance. Not the asshole. If a boyfriend ever did that to me, they would immediately be an ex-boyfriend. Not okay. Not the asshole. So glad you got the dog back and dumped the guy. I personally couldn't be with someone who got rid of my dog. I hope you and Leo enjoy the rest of your time together. You'll soon find a guy that loves you both. Not the asshole. Who the hell does that? A heartless snake, that's who. If he would do something that messed up, it doesn't bode well for your future. Too bad he can't make the rent. He should have thought of that before he gave away a dog you loved and had such a special attachment to because of your friend. Your relationship is over, some things don't require forgiveness. Your family needs to stay out of it, and when he's living in his car, maybe he'll think twice before he does something that unbelievably cruel and thoughtless again. So very much not the asshole. Maybe the family would like to adopt him, because you sure should be putting your fiancé up for adoption. Just be glad this happened before you were married. It is easier to move on to someone who gives a damn about you. Hey, don't marry this guy K. This isn't just about the dog. He has no respect or regard for you, your boundaries or your belongings. If he feels it's within his rights to give away a living, breathing creature in your care, then everything else is also on the table. He doesn't like your clothes. Donated. He doesn't like your car. Sold. He doesn't like the plans you made. Reservations cancelled. You're not the asshole and he's a control freak. Not the asshole. And fuck that guy. If you hadn't come to a clear and mutually agreed upon decision for the dog, the no action should have been taken. Also not his dog to give away. Fuck him and his rent and anyone who thinks it's okay for him to have given away your dog. Not the asshole. He did not feel bad for the kid. He wanted the dog gone. No one gives their own dog away because they feel bad for someone else who wants it. How would that family even know the dog was up for adoption? His whole story doesn't even make sense. He's obviously lying about what really happened. It's ridiculous. Not the asshole. He completely disregarded something that was incredibly important to you. Then blamed you for making him feel badly. You did the right thing by moving out. If this is how he treats you now, it would almost certainly have gotten worse. So glad you have your dog back. Not the asshole. Good for you. Enjoy him. So glad you got Leo back. When people tell you who they really are, listen to them. Not the asshole. Have you called to try to get Leo back? Not the asshole. Wow, there's so many red flags here. You could make yourself a pretty scarf. You are 1000% correct in leaving this as a relationship-ending action, and the fact he can't see that makes it scarier. People that have a lack of empathy or emotional attachment often have other broader mental issues at play. The fact that he did not care at all about how you felt about your dog which you loved is enormous and kind of hard to comprehend. Who does that? It will only get worse from here. He would likely start to get controlling if he feels he can give your animal away. Yikes. Not the asshole. IDK if y'all broke up over this or you just moved out for a while, but if you haven't already you should dump his ass. This is a huge red flag and shows that you can't trust him. This person took something extremely important to you and gave it away behind your back. It is 10,000 times worse because it is a living thing and a dearly loved pet. He had one conversation with you and could have followed up 1,000 times with why he didn't want to keep the dog. He was a liar, a coward, and he betrayed you. The fact that his apology includes how this is impacting him, that he can't pay rent on his own, tells you exactly who he is. He's selfish and will never put your needs on equal footing with his own, let alone put you first. What will he do if you have a child that takes your attention, if your career inconveniences him, etc.? Not the asshole, and don't go back. Not the asshole. I would be distraught if someone gave away my beloved pets. Your fiancé obviously has no respect for you to believe that you wouldn't make a fuss and demand for the return of Leo. He is showing you his true self, so believe him. Not the asshole. I don't know if you would rather have advice, but if you would, then I'd go to the relationship advice subreddit. I mean, he knew the sentimental value behind the dog and he didn't respect it. Plus, his reason for wanting you back to pay rent didn't do much to make me feel better about him. You didn't do anything wrong, don't worry. I'm sorry. Which part of this made you feel it wrong here? It's obvious you're not the asshole. This is just seeking for attention at this point. I hate to say it, but I have a feeling his story is a lie. If I were you, I'd check your local shelters. Edit. Not the asshole. Dogs are family. Not the asshole, 100%. He's not very committed to living with you if he's willing to give away a living being that's without your knowledge, behind your back, and knowing ahead of time how important he was to you. Not quite sure that's someone I'd want in my corner. Not the asshole. His reaction makes it even worse. Your fiancé sucks. Aren't obvious not the asshole posts supposed to be removed? Not the asshole. This is equal to destroying something that matters to you because he doesn't like it. It's controlling and abusive. In no way are you the asshole for reacting to his behavior in a way to separate yourself from it. Not the asshole. Stop calling that monster your fiance. He threw your trust and relationship away when he gave your dog away. Block his number and move on with your life. What he did is a dealbreaker. There is no possible justification for how he handled that. Especially because of the connection you have with your friend through your dog. I can't believe you might think that you were an aw for yelling. You and your dog were treated horribly and now he's whining because you left. He only misses the financial stability you provided. That is not a reason to go back to him. He showed you exactly how much he values you and your feelings and what is precious to you. There is no coming back from that. Love your dog and make the most of the time you have with him. Not the asshole. You fiance is in the wrong. Walk away.